Time now for your forewarned weather with Thomas Keyboy.
Good Wednesday morning, Utah. Time is currently 6:14. Compared to what we were seeing yesterday evening, it is significantly calmer out there this morning. But based on what we saw yesterday evening and last night, there are still some very slippery conditions out there. So if you're getting ready to hit the road, make sure that you're building in some extra time just in case. And you might need to dig out your car as well. I had a bunch of ice on my windshield this morning, and that took me a little bit longer to get to work this morning. But out there this morning on the forewarned radar, not as much, but as quickly as we expand the view, you can see our next storm system currently taking shape. And by later this morning into the afternoon, it will move into our neighborhood. And this storm system that arrives today will bring us a better chance of snow across the entire state, while the bulk of what we're going to see will likely be in northern Utah once again. And the winter storm warnings and the winter weather advisories that we saw that were issued yesterday are going to continue through today through 5 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. So we are not done with our winter weather by any stretch of the imagination. And we even have more snow coming our way to round out the work week and move into this upcoming weekend. We'll talk more about that in just a moment. But first, let's go ahead and show you the Deer Valley snow stake, where this morning officially reporting 11 inches of snow, even though it looks like that snow stake does have some snow just over a foot. And some of our northern Utah mountains picked up quite a bit of snow, especially during the overnight hours, most notably in the Cottonwoods, where we picked up 13 inches of snow alone at Alta during the overnight hours, during the overnight hour time period. So in some of our northern mountains, it is going to be a powder day, and the Park City area mountains like Deer Valley, going to see some fresh powder for you to enjoy once we get into this morning when they open up. Down in St. George yesterday, it was a fairly quiet day. Actually, it was pretty nice outside of it being chilly because St. George only topped out in the low 40s. And as we're starting off this morning, temperatures are starting off mainly in the teens and 20s out there, with Park City at 10 degrees, 13 in Cedar City, 22 in St. George, and Salt Lake City and Logan, both sitting with temperatures in the middle 20s. As we move into this afternoon, our daytime highs today will be almost identical compared to what we saw yesterday, if not a little bit cooler in northern Utah, as we will be looking at more snow showers for the northern half of the state. But from this afternoon into tonight, the chance of wet weather will start to increase across southern Utah. But before we get to that point, in northern Utah from this afternoon into this evening, there will be more snow squall potential. Remember, we talked about this yesterday. A snow squall is an intense burst of snow, typically with strong winds, that could lead to whiteout conditions. And we did see that play out yesterday, and that potential will exist once again, maybe a little bit earlier today compared to what we saw yesterday. That main window in the northernmost portion of the state, 1 to 4 o'clock this afternoon, 3 to 6 for the northern Wasatch Front into Salt Lake County. And then between 5 and 10 o'clock from the southern portion of Salt Lake County down through central Utah. And you can see that window in the central portion of the state a little bit longer just because it is a larger area. But from this afternoon to this evening, if you have to be out on the roadways, make sure that you're keeping tabs on the weather. And like we saw yesterday, there will also be more potential for thunder snow from the Wasatch Front down through the central portion of the state, mainly situated on the I-15 corridor and areas off to the west. Once again, do not be surprised if you hear a few rumbles of thunder with the snow that moves in later today. Let's go ahead and begin the Futurecast. I'll start this at 8 o'clock this morning, and as we go through the next several hours, we'll likely see snow pick up once again across the northern half of the state. Then if we're going to see those snow squalls, that's likely going to start this afternoon. And you can see those bands of snow taking shape close to the Utah-Idaho line. Once we get into 1 o'clock this afternoon, then it steadily works its way down to the south. By 4 or 5 o'clock, moving into the central portion of the Wasatch Front, Salt Lake County, into northern portions of Utah County. Then eventually that snow squall will have the potential to work its way into the central portion of the state going into this evening, even down to the I-15 and I-70 interchange around 8 and 9 o'clock. And then during the overnight hours, we could even see rain and snow down around St. George as scattered snow showers likely continue in the northern portion of the state. And at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, forecast models have been highlighting that we could see some lake effect snow showers first thing on our Thursday, leading to likely some treacherous travel conditions even through the overnight hours through first thing tomorrow. Then scattered snow showers continue in northern Utah through Thursday. Then our next storm system is set to drop in by Friday with an even stronger storm system likely to arrive by this upcoming weekend. Here's a look at the snow potential through this evening, where it shows in our northern valleys we could see at least a couple of inches, several inches plus for our northern mountains. Then you can see that snow stretching down into southern Utah with some minor accumulations. Then through Thursday into early on Friday, we could see half a foot plus for our northern Utah mountains. And if we do see that lake effect play out, especially in Salt Lake and Utah counties, maybe several inches plus. So we're not done with the snow just yet. As mentioned, in St. George, we'll have a chance of snow later on today, maybe lingering through first thing on Thursday. Otherwise, partly cloudy skies through the bulk of Wednesday and Thursday. Highs in the low to mid 40s. Daytime highs continue in the 40s through this upcoming weekend, with overnight lows in the 20s and bringing back a slight chance on Sunday. Then along the Wasatch Front, snow looking good through the next several days. Likely not going to be nonstop snow, but likely going to come in waves. Daytime high staying chilly, overnight low staying frigid for the most part. Scattered snow showers continue through this upcoming weekend, with daytime highs ranging anywhere from the upper 20s to the low to mid 30s, with overnight lows likely in the low teens by early next week.